It could be a break in one of the most intriguing cold cases in our country's history. In the early 70s, a hijacker calling himself D.B. Cooper jumped from an airliner in flight, carrying $200,000 in ransom cash, and disappeared in the woods of the Pacific Northwest. His fate remained unknown, his true identity a mystery, that is, perhaps until now, thanks to this exclusive interview with ABC's Pierre Thomas.
I'm certain he was my uncle, Lynn Doyle Cooper.
This woman has reignited the investigation into the only unsolved hijacking in U.S. history. Her name is Marla Cooper, and she says her uncle is the infamous hijacker, D.B. Cooper.
This is not an alias.
No.
You believe that your uncle was D.B. Cooper?
Yes, I do.
The identity of D.B. Cooper has been a mystery since November 24th, 1971, when a man calling himself Dan Cooper hijacked and threatened to blow up a passenger jet flying from Portland to Seattle. He ordered the plane to land and demanded a $200,000 ransom and a parachute. After Cooper's demands were met and the plane took off from Mexico per his request, Cooper did the unthinkable. He lowered the back stairs and jumped out of a speeding 727, thousands of feet over the Pacific Northwest during a raging storm.
The air was freezing. I mean, this was negative, I think -4 degrees at that height. And when he opens the stairs, the blast from the jet engines above, completely deafening.
He disappeared despite a massive manhunt, becoming something of a folk hero, iconic, even the subject of a movie. The one big case where the FBI did not get their man. Marla Cooper says she now remembers a conversation with her father before he died in 1995 that she didn't fully understand at the time.
My father made a comment about his long-lost brother, my uncle L.D., and said that he thought he was still alive but hiding from the FBI. And I questioned why he would be hiding. He said, "Don't you remember he hijacked that airplane?" A couple of years ago, my mother made another comment, a similar comment.
Why have you decided to come forward?
Actually, I contacted the FBI as soon as I was sure that what I was remembering were real memories. There's a crime that's taken place that hasn't been solved, and I'm the only person, as far as I know, who knows what happened.
Marla was 8 at the time of the hijacking.
My two uncles, who I only saw at holiday time, were planning something very mischievous. They left to supposedly go turkey hunting, and Thanksgiving morning I was waiting for them to return.
A day later, Northwest Orient Flight 305 was indeed hijacked. Her Uncle L.D. came home claiming to be in a car accident.
My Uncle L.D. was wearing a white t-shirt, and he was bloody and bruised and a mess, and I was horrified. I began to cry. And my other uncle, who was with LD, said, "Marla, just shut up and go get your dad."
I definitely think it was strange that he disappeared like that.
Marla's mother, Grace Haley, believes her brother-in-law could be the hijacker.
I think it was more what I didn't know that made me suspicious than what I did know, because anytime the subject would come up, it just immediately got cut back off again.
Haley says L.D. grew up in Sisters, Oregon, and was familiar with the area where the hijacker jumped. He was a logger, an outdoorsman, tough enough, she believes, to jump out of a plane into the wilderness. Marla doesn't know much about her uncle other than he was a Korean War veteran, and that he was obsessed with a comic book character who may have inspired the name of the hijacker.
He had the Dan Cooper comic books thumbtacked to the wall next to his bed. I think he idolized the guy and conjured this crazy scheme in his mind.
She provided the FBI with the guitar strap in this photo to check for fingerprints. So far, no prints have been found. Authorities are investigating this new lead in the case, but whether LD and DB Cooper are one and the same is difficult, if not impossible, to prove. I'm Pierre Thomas for Nightline in Oklahoma City.